Hello, dear students. I don't know if you remember me. I'm your teacher. Well, I used to be your teacher. Last year in September when the course started, and then I got ill, and then I had to stay home and recover and get well. And finally, I'm ready to get back to work. I hope you're okay. If you had to undergo hardship and emotional strains and suffering and all that kind of stress coming from not having a source of income and or having people we love who are ill or who have died. Well, I do hope that you can recover and you are strong psychologically and emotionally and do recover, because we only live once and we need to be strong. It's okay to suffer because there are reasons for that, but we have to be strong and we have to move on. And I had a terrible year. This year was terrible. Well, as you can see, I'm much older. 1 year, but I'm much older. But anyway, so I mean, I know it. I know that it's hard to imagine when you are suffering. It's hard to imagine that you can feel okay again, but you can, because bad things come, but then they go, and happiness and being cheerful is a matter of will, de voluntad, okay, of will. So we have to try to wake up in the morning thinking, wow, one more day, I have one more day to live. What am I going to do today? And whatever depends on me, I'm going to make my best to squeeze the best of the day. And what depends on me, of course. Then there are lots of things that don't depend on me. But a lot of things depend on us too, okay? Because life is not all about having money to survive. I mean, even very poor people laugh. They don't laugh because poverty is okay. Poverty is not okay. We all know that. But they laugh because they are human, and we can laugh and we can be happy in different moments of the day, and we can even be quite okay with life if we are okay with ourselves and we are true to ourselves, to the things we love, to the people we love, and to our dreams too, and to to our projects, or to our all the things we love. And we can, and if we feel we don't feel like doing anything, or we don't love anyone or whatever, we can work on that and love people and love doing things and develop curiosity and develop empathy. We can do so many things. Human minds are amazing as human language. Human language is amazing, and it's the evidence that our brain is amazing. We can do much more than we think we can. So anyway, and I think there's a student called Anna who I didn't get the chance to meet. and who I'm dying to meet because I've been told she's a lovely person and that I would love to work with her in class. Melania told me. And well, Anna, I'm dying to meet you. And I hope that we can meet next year in the C12, right? And so a big, 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 big hug and a big hello, and hope to see you. I've missed you a lot. I was very stressed at the beginning because I was all the time thinking I was going to be back soon. I was going to be back soon, next week, and then handing in my papers and people at the school saying I was not handing in my papers and the inspector calling me. It was so crazy, so crazy. And then finally I accepted I was ill and I had to stay for all this time. It's been my longest sick leave. I mean, ever in my life, of course. 10 months, 11 months. It's a terrible thing. Anyway, I'm in tip-top form now. And look, I've got feather earrings and I've got my bunches. And I've got my white hair. So, okay. See you soon and big hug. I'm just going to show you some pictures of books and of the website so you know what it looks like, okay? And you can download for free the C1 resource pack at the Talking People website. Or is it talkingpeople.net? If you go to my courses in class, I think is the name of the section, you'll see there's a little square, a little box for getting to the e-campus, to the Talking People e-campus, where I have a reading club. And there you will find a forum, and there will be different forums, or one forum for each book. And there I have also posted like audios and audiovisuals related to the book. And there you can post more resources connected to the book, or also comments or whatever. And you can simply browse the forums to see if you like any of the books. And those are books that I have used in my advanced courses. And they're interesting. On the Talking People website, you will also find the link to the C1 resource pack, which is downloadable. And if you print it, it's about €5 or something like that. So you should read it if you're going to be with me. The book I'm writing now is an extension on that, and as it turns out, it's already got like 400 pages, so I'm working on splitting it up in 3 volumes. And the first volume, the one I will be working on in the following weeks, is for students, for students so they can learn how to organize the course, the learning years at the advanced level. In our context. And also it's about language learning, about understanding language learning, and also understanding language and culture. Mar Gallego, who allowed me to quote part of her article on the stigmatization of accents in Andalusia, which is really interesting. And I have created a mediation activity with that, a workshop really, against stigmatization of accents and varieties of languages, varieties of Spanish or varieties of English. And I also have, well, you'll see, I have lots of news. Then the second volume is going to be about listening and speaking. And of course, that includes also the exam workshops. And then the third volume is about reading and writing. But that's almost 200 pages, just reading and writing. Mostly it's writing because, I'm a writer. I'm an anonymous writer with no paper books at all. But I am widely read on the internet. This summer, I discovered that my book on talking people, the book called Stories from My Teacher, which I wrote, and I also invited other teachers to join in, and some generous and intelligent teachers joined in with their own stories, and it's a beautiful book. Well, that book has been downloaded 40,000 times. And also my literature, which is in Spanish. I'm telling you this because, it's been a very tough year, and I've been working on my self-esteem and self-confidence, which is important in life. And what was I going to say? Well, I will show you the books now, but my idea for next year, because it's all so uncertain, considering the difficulties of meeting and the likelihood there is that we should be having online lessons, I think first I want to listen to you, I want to hear you talk, I want you to make questions you're interested in. So we're going to have informal gatherings, online gatherings, or in class, and you have to come with your questions and with your stories, and we're going to have conversations. And then we're going to read. We're going to do both things. We're going to focus on listening and speaking, okay? So we will focus on communication and also reading aloud. So we're going to be reading aloud certain books. We will talk about it, but in the C11, of course, Mary Poppins. Usually I begin the books in class and then people finish them at home. But I think maybe we should be reading them together. You've got the link to the audio on our course blog for C1 students, the Mary Poppins page. You'll find the link also on talkingpeople.net. And so you can listen and listen and listen, so that later, if you volunteer to read, your reading will be much better. Because adults don't read very well unless they practice, I tell you. So take my word for it, okay? And then from Mary Poppins, this is the paper book, right? But you don't have to buy it. You've got the audio book there. We also do this one. We can read this in 2 hours. It's very short. It's an essay. And the good thing about this one is that you can listen to Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie on her TED Talk. The TED Talk she gave, which is where this comes from, okay? So these two, okay, for C11s. And then for C12s, because it's been such a hard year and all, I was hoping that maybe you can talk and you can try to get a copy of this movie on torrent, peer-to-peer sharing, P2P sharing. This is Smoke Signals. It's the first American Indian movie made by American Indians, with a screenplay by Sherman Alexie, an American Indian. Well, he's actually one of my favorite writers and he's an American Indian writer. Smoke Signals is not the book I want to read with you in class, which is this one, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. It's a book about his life as a kid on the reservation, okay, in the United States. But the movie is about when he's older and his dad dies and he has to leave the reservation to get to a caravan and pick his body. Okay? So, but anyway, as there is no audio for this book, unless you find it, of course, if you find it, please let me know. Well, maybe you can find this movie and you can watch it online, right? To get used to the kind of language. And then I would be reading a chapter and then people would be reading the chapter, okay? I was thinking that maybe the online lessons, due to the difficulties there are with everybody's machines working, maybe I will be doing the reading part until we make sure that we can listen to everybody, right? But it doesn't matter because it's a listening you're doing. You're listening to somebody reading and you can see how I read, and then you can imitate me and you can read the same. And it's always good to read the same text several times because you cannot learn a language just by hearing things for once or for one for a one and only time for a one and only time. Yes, because it's for once or for a one and only time. Well, here, see, the problem with improvisation. Oh my God, improvisation. But then if you sign up on the reading club, whether we meet again or not, you're going to find all kinds of wonderful books like Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, and of course Leonora Carrington's The Debutante. Well, in this book she's got a collection of stories, but I chose one. It's, you know that I have poems and stories on the Talking People podcast. Find the link on talkingpeople.net. And make sure you listen to my audios because they are very good. Don't go crazy looking for materials on the internet when you have also my materials, which are specifically designed for you, for students attending escuelas oficiales de idiomas, my lessons, right? So, of course, you can use any kind of material you like. But anyway, we're very good teachers, and even though nobody believes it. So anyway, I'll talk now about. Hola, solo deciros que anoche no podía dormir de emoción porque no me había enterado que AndalucíaEduca me había publicado un artículo. Yo pensé que no les interesaba lo que yo escribía y de repente llegué y vi que lo habían publicado en junio. Así que no podía dormir y bueno, me salieron unas ojeras brutales. Salí feísima en el vídeo, pero no lo voy a repetir. ¿Para qué? Hay días que está así, hay días que está así. Bueno, aquí estoy con la higuera. Estoy desayunando higo del árbol. Figs clipped from the tree. See you.